Hey you guys, thanks for joining me tonight. We are going to be discussing one of my least favorite things, and that is cellulite. I am just naturally one of those people who has battled with body image and weight, and I am just genetically supposed to be a fatty fat person. And so being fit and being thin and my body fat content is something that I'm constantly having to battle, and it's just what it is for me. So what I'm going to do for you guys tonight is kind of share a little bit of the myths surrounding cellulite, the facts surrounding cellulite, and then I'm going to just share some just bold-faced truths with you. So my name is Diane Parham if you're just jumping on, and I help women develop meal plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best so that they can live their most authentic life. And I know cellulite is one of those things that can really kind of dampen a woman's self-confidence. And I know as I'm aging, the battle with cellulite is getting to be one of those things that is almost that battle that I can no longer win. But I'm doing some things to kind of help minimize that. And I always feel that when you take a proactive approach to something, that it does sort of just make you feel confident just in the fact that you're doing some things to kind of offset it or keep yourself in the positive. Hey, Ingrid, how are you, girlfriend? Okay, so I'm going to get to this because I know it's late and I know you guys want to get on with your life, but I think that this is a really serious subject to talk about because I know for a lot of women, this can be very emotional about you just having to deal with it with their body. And I'm hoping to gather together us women, and so that we can be on the same team and kind of support each other through this thing. So, truth. And this is some good news that 90% of women have cellulite. So how much cellulite you have and where you have it, there's a lot of factors that contribute to that, but the good news is we're not alone. Everyone has it, and we all just sort of deal with it in different ways. A myth is that cellulite is often caused by toxins in our body. Now, the healthier we are and the cleaner we eat and the more we exercise, of course, the less that we'll have to deal with cellulite. But cellulite does not like land on your body or show up on your body because of the fact that you have toxins in your body. But it could contribute to the fact that you maybe are not living as clean or as healthy as you should. So toxins in your body are definitely a myth. A truth about cellulite. Cellulite does start to show or surface as we get older because our body stops producing as much estrogen as it used to because we just simply don't need it anymore. And so what happens is collagen fibers and connective tissue start to break down, and cellulite just sort of surfaces over them. So it's kind of always been there. And that's why I say 90% of women have cellulite. For some women you can see it and for some you can't. And that's just because of age and genetics. And as we age, you will notice that cellulite on your body will become more visible, and that's just because of what's breaking down in your body because your hormones are changing. So everything with women is always goes back to that hormone issue. If you carry more fat naturally on your body, then you will see more cellulite. That's just how it is because cellulite is just basically fatty deposits. So what you want to do is make sure that you are keeping your body as lean as possible, and that's usually done through strength training and a cardio combination. So you want to make sure that you're adding in that strength training into your fitness routine. Developing muscle just takes up that space. So the more muscle you have, the more lean muscle you have on your body, there'll be less room for that cellulite to kind of pop up on the surface and show. So lean muscle mass is where you want to go with your body, and that's done through strength training. And then you want to put in some cardio as well just to kind of burn those calories. Cellulite does get worse with age. Like I said, as we get older, we stop producing as much estrogen as we did before, and so those connective tissues and the collagen starts to decrease. Good news is there are some supplements that you can take for that, and you want to make sure you just kind of have a well-balanced diet. Another fact, and I see this for myself with my own family, is that how much cellulite you have and where your cellulite kind of stores itself on your body is sort of genetically predetermined. So if you want to know what your body is going to look like as you age, or you want to know what your body would look like with some cellulite on it, just look down your family tree, look at your mom, look at your aunts, look at your grandmother, if you still have grandmothers that are around, or you can look at some pictures and you'll see that you will probably end up looking like the people in your family, unless you kind of do some things to sort of change lifestyle. But we pretty much end up looking like our ancestors. So my body definitely has the same character traits as my mom and as my aunts and as my grandmother. But because I'm choosing to sort of do some different things in my life, that I won't necessarily look exactly like them, but I can see where my problem areas are, and it's very genetically lined up. The good news about genetics is it does kind of play a small part in how much cellulite we're going to have. So I know for my body, because of the women in my family, we all carry our weight kind of like from the waist through the mid level of our hip area and thigh area. So that's where I always end up putting on my weight and kind of holding that fat area. But I also know that if I exercise and keep my lean muscle mass up, and I put some strength training into my routine and put a little muscle on my body and have a very well balanced diet, that I could minimize how much cellulite my body is going to actually hold on to. I will never get rid of it completely, but I know that lifestyle plays a bigger factor in genetics than genetic would play if I did nothing at all to prevent it. There's a big myth out there that think that people who are out of shape have cellulite, and that's just not true. I know some very, very fit women who have cellulite on their body. Cellulite is just part of, what we have to deal with as women. We just need that extra fat on our bodies to survive and to do the job that our body is supposed to do. And so having cellulite on your body does not mean that you're doing anything wrong in the fitness arena, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing anything wrong in the nutrition area as well. It is just one of those things that that we sometimes just have. You can reduce it. You can kind of slow it down, but you have to know that it just is part of who we are, and we have to just kind of own it. And I think the more we just realize that that's who we are, we stop comparing ourselves to other people. We never know what other people are doing to have a look that they have. So I say, just own your own life, do what you got to do for you. Don't worry about what other people look like, and just know that cellulite is just part of what we are as women. I already talked about exercise and the fact that strength training and putting a little muscle on your body can kind of help the visual signs of cellulite, as well as stretching and like yoga type exercises. Strengthening and stretching your body can be a perfect combination for kind of keeping your body nice and lean and keeping that cellulite just so it's not as visible on that surface, because you are kind of just building up that connective tissue and kind of keeping that collagen in your body as well. Another huge myth, and hopefully this will help you guys and keep a little money in your pocket, creams and gels and lotions and all those topical type of agents just do not work when it comes to cellulite. Now, if you're rubbing some creams or some lotions on an area where you have some visible cellulite, just actually creating or improving circulation in that area might be what could reduce the signs of cellulite, but the actual creams themselves have not really been proven to work. So, maybe a massage might be something that you might be looking into, or doing something to increase circulation to that area, but actually spending money on creams and lotions, just keep your money in your pocket. They just don't work. Let's see what else we got here. Another fact, skin fillers. So going and getting injections in areas that you have visible cellulite, they'll work, but they'll work for a temporary period of time, and they're very costly. So it's almost like just getting a Botox injection, but you're doing it in an area where you have some cellulite. So I guess if you have that disposable income and you can go and have someone, shoot some stuff into your legs or your hips or your butt or whatever, and you can kind of make those bumps go away, that will make them visually go away, but you're not eliminating that cellulite. And after a couple months, those treatments will wear off and those bumps will come back. So just keep your money. There's a couple other like non-invasive treatments you could do too, some laser therapy and stuff like that. But again, they're super, super costly, and there'll be those things that just won't last a very long time. Now there are some foods that you can consume that will help you reduce cellulite. But I'm going to save that because I've put together a PDF that I want you guys to download so that you can keep it handy. So what I'm going to ask you to do is visit this page tomorrow, and I will have a link for you where you can download specific foods that you can use to help reduce cellulite. Now, as always, living a healthy and balanced lifestyle is key to improving any area of your life. And like I said, 90% of women have cellulite, so it's just that thing that we have to deal with. If you have a well-balanced diet, you keep your body hydrated, and you exercise regularly to include stretching and strength training so you get that lean muscle on your body, you will see a huge difference in how visible your cellulite is. You will probably never ever get rid of it completely. So just know that if you're already on that path of making those healthy changes in your life, you will start to notice a decrease in your cellulite. The one big call to action that I have for all of you who are watching this tonight, and most of you are probably women, is we really have to bond together and be kind of this sisterhood where we support one another. We got to stop, criticizing each other and downplaying how other people are looking and comparing ourselves to others, and really being so critical not only of ourselves but the women that we have around us. And really banding together and understanding that we're all doing the best that we can with what we have. And sometimes if we have cellulite on our body, that's just how we were made, and there's nothing that we can do about it. So I think if we start standing together as women and are proud of the bodies that we have, and just live a really healthy and balanced lifestyle, that we can be comfortable in our own skin and really feel like, it's not this battle that we're always going to constantly be losing. I know for myself at 50, I have a lot more cellulite on my body today than I had 10 years ago. And I'm just taking those action steps to make sure that I'm living a healthy life emotionally and physically. I have a well-balanced diet. I do my strength training, and I just know that that's just the way God made my body, and that's just what I have to live with. And I'm also very sensitive to other women and what they're struggling with their own bodies and body image as well. So cellulite, some of us are just stuck with it, but I think if we approach it on a positive level and then support each other as women and kind of a sisterhood of knowing that that's just what we have on our bodies, and that's what makes us such amazing creatures, that we will be able to live with that in a much healthier way. So like I said, I have a download for you guys. It will be available tomorrow on my page here, so make sure you check back and you can download that. And I have a list with a recipe of a food that you can make that will help you reduce the signs of cellulite on your body. As always, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope this was informative to you, and I hope it makes you feel a little bit more confident. If you are struggling with cellulite on your body, I'm right there with you. It's just something that we have to deal with as women, but there is some hope, and there are some things that you can do to kind of take control of it yourself and minimize it and make yourself feel a little bit more positive about what you're going through. I will see you guys here again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I hope I will see you on my page tomorrow where you can download my food list on how to help yourself reduce cellulite on your body. Have a great night, you guys.